Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Thank you, Robin. That level of support is just so precious to me. I really appreciate it. Let's just talk a little bit about masks. If you are seated, you are welcome to drop your mask. However, if you do get up and move around, please pull it right back up over your nose. That would be great. And young men, if you are interested in taking your jackets off, please feel free to do that as well. Although it is a little chilly in this crosswind. How's the volume back there in the cheap seats? Excellent. Good. I need to do this, so pardon me. Yeah, it's always bad news when I bring two pieces of paper up here. It's always bad news. First, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I am mindful that this event under this tent represents just one more whistle stop in Tilton School's campaign to make life feel just almost normal. We haven't been together as a full school, and it feels just a bit more normal that we are together. So we have some thank yous. Mrs. White, Mrs. Sedgley, Mr. Geary, thank you for your work tonight. Thank you to Carl Blaze and his crew for setting this tent up so that we can actually be together in this moment of celebration. Also, obviously, I need to thank Mrs. Caldwell, Tilton's liaison to the National Honor Society, who pushed ahead as midwinter turned to late winter without really knowing if this event would even be possible. She pushed ahead, she forged ahead. And thank you for keeping the faith that this event just might happen. And for your just tremendous organization and work in the nomination and selection process. Thank you, Mrs. Caldwell. In a way, that word that I used before, that word normal, just doesn't suit this event at all, because this event acknowledges students who, in a sense, have actually set themselves apart from the norm. Students whose scholarship and service and leadership actually stand out among their peers. Students who have, we use the expression sometimes, set the bar high. These students whom we'll honor tonight, they truly deserve our congratulations. But that's not all of us. Today, I had the really good fortune of taking part in a couple of conversations with students who will not be honored tonight, who will not be inducted into the National Honor Society. These kids, oh, they are so bright. They are so hardworking. And like the rest of us, these kids are on their own journeys of self-discovery. Look, just meeting Tilton's academic and community standards is hard enough. To do it in a pandemic year, with how many times we spit into a little tube, and everything else that goes along with turning this into a really abnormal year. These kids have begun to find their stride, have begun to find their voice, and they will continue to do so. And so my final thanks is to them and to you all. That's who we are, on our own journeys of self-discovery, finding our stride and finding our voice. Thank you to the adults whose job it is to help us keep going in that direction. Let's give the faculty who are here a round of applause. Okay, I'm just about done. Of course, I need to introduce our speaker, tonight's speaker, Gabrielle Hunter, who was a member of the Tilton School community in the before times, a RAM who graduated in 2016. Gabby joined us in her junior year and was a member of Coach Brisson's powerhouse basketball teams for 2 years. An NHS inductee herself, Gabby went on to Dartmouth College and played basketball there for a season and graduated with a degree in cultural anthropology with a special focus in human-centered design. Even as a student at Tilton, Gabby evinced a keen desire to understand what we share as a people and what we can teach each other. And I can tell you, Gabby, you taught me a lot. Today, Gabby works for Fidelity Investments as an associate in their very long 18-month Emerging Leader program. She will one day become a leader in that company, if not her own company. Gabby, thank you for being here tonight, and thanks for bringing along your friend Dave and introducing him to your home away from home, Tilton School. Please join me in welcoming Gabby Hunter.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Landrosch, for that introduction. This is not quite how I remember chapel ceremonies, but being outside in the fresh air with all of your beautiful faces, this is a great exchange. I would like to thank you all for having me here tonight for this wondrous occasion. It is an honor to speak before you all and stand in the very place that gave me the confidence and space to share my voice. Perseverance. Merriam-Webster defines it as the continued effort to do or achieve despite difficulties, failure, or opposition. Tonight, we commemorate the determination and academic will of these bright-eyed students before us. Congratulations are in order, for it is the undeniable grit, drive, and commitment to academic prosperity of the newest inductees, particularly in the midst of a global pandemic, that is truly admirable. These students have answered the call to a challenge to become wiser than the earlier versions of themselves. They have exceeded the academic standards placed in front of them and have committed themselves to learning consistently. We applaud your persistent spirit, intellectual curiosity, and will to embrace your learning journey for the better. While we celebrate your achievements today and your little achievements each day, I would certainly be remiss if I did not also acknowledge the unseen efforts and sacrifices that likely accompanied you all at one point or another on your journey, and have in fact made this day that much sweeter. Perhaps you spent numerous late nights studying after study hall came to an official close. Maybe you decided to skip out on working with your friends in the library. Perhaps you made the executive decision to stay after class and meet with Mr. Landrosch because the words of Shakespeare did not speak to you the first time. Or maybe you settled for a few less minutes hanging out with your best friends in the Mark in order to finish an assignment in your dorm room. Though many of you may have made this accomplishment bear resemblance to a walk in the park, and for a very select few of you, perhaps that was your reality. But for the vast majority, it was far from that narrative. In fact, it was nothing short of a composite of peaks and valleys, but most consistently, sacrifices and discipline. Whichever of those anecdotes illustrate your story, whatever ebbs and flows you navigated through behind closed doors, we applaud your discernment to resolve what works for you, to ask for help when needed, to think critically in pedagogies, to challenge yourself and your knowledge, and most importantly, to persist. To clarify, this is not a speech about perfection. The acquisition of knowledge and our learning milestones are not aligned with perfection. It is about our will to open our minds, and showing up is half of the battle. It concerns understanding the ways in which you prefer to learn, how to adapt, then adapting, and often, most times, in a cyclical fashion. There is no golden rule, but to know yourself, welcome the quest, and go the distance. This is a lesson that I learned firsthand. I can reflect on my first year in undergrad, where I encountered my biggest academic challenge up to date. My intellect was challenged, my unsustainable study habits were exposed, my morale was exceptionally low. I remember completing my first term, and even my first year at that, and asking myself, how in the world am I going to sustain this for another 3 years? Candidly, it was not until a year and a half, almost 2 years into my undergraduate experience, that I figured out what truly worked for me, topics and niche areas that I genuinely appreciated learning about, the resources that afforded me to properly learn, and ultimately the spaces in which I wanted to contribute. When I compare my first 2 years to my second 2, I noticeably detect 2 different learners, the latter of which was far more equipped and well-versed than the former. I say all this to say, once you unveil the tools and conditions that are compatible to your learning styles and preferences, you will tap into the pinnacle of your learning. There is no one-size-fits-all. The conditions that may religiously work for the person next to you may not work for you, and the inverse is true too. Extend grace to yourselves day in and day out. It is through self-compassion and the will to embrace the unknown that you will continue, if not begin, to enjoy learning. Throughout this time in your lives, a great deal of emphasis is placed on grades and academic standards. Understandably so, given that these are the conditions by which our society lives. A tale as old as time. Though these metrics of academic success hold value in our system, and particularly today and every day, we celebrate the successes of our peers, it is important to also acknowledge that you are more than a letter grade, a percentage, a report card, a transcript. When the class bell rings, when the term ends, when you all transition from Rams to another adored mascot, to becoming working adults as contributing members of society in new ways, the learning does not conclude. We are all metamorphosizing in the evolution of ourselves, of our learning. We are all relatedly lifelong learners of whom each day we will be presented with new discoveries. I ask you all to reframe your outlook on your learning journeys, to situate yourselves as lifelong learners, rather than simply apprentices of the classroom, of academia. Reinvent yourself as a learner as many times as you see fit, though ultimately commit to being a student of life and the world, not just your textbooks. Wherever the wind may advance you in this life, learn about the environments around you, the beings that inhabit it, and the ways in which systems materialize into daily life. Learn about your proverbial neighbors. Be curious and ask questions. Then, when you've asked all the questions that you have designed to inquire about, and they have seemingly been answered, recontextualize, revisit, go back to the drawing board and ask them tenfold. The learnings about the world are bountiful. You have all been enthroned with an unparalleled opportunity afforded by your time here at Tilton School to be excited about learning, especially learning about your neighbors. With students hailing from just the town over to Cape Cod to right outside of Boston to California and China, Spain, and everywhere in between, the people with which you talk, walk, learn, laugh, and live with have already taught you far more than you had known yesterday, before you had stepped foot on the hill. Rightfully acknowledge your evolution of learning and consumption of new or resituated knowledge that has occurred on this campus. Take the spirit of curiosity and cross-pollination of learnings into the world with you as you continue to learn and grow alongside your classmates, teachers, loved ones, and neighbors, the known and the unknown. You may not receive an award or recognition for this type of learning. Nevertheless, it is greatly, greatly valuable. Today, we celebrate the learning that has started in the classroom and the ideals of academic success that have been exhibited up until this day. But in conjunction with that, tomorrow and each day to come, let us all extend ourselves grace and compassion as we embrace our lifelong learning journeys and enable our curiosity to persevere as our engines of personal development. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gabby, for coming and joining us. It's always wonderful when alumni can come and reflect on their experience and share a few words of wisdom with our current students. So thank you again, Gabby, for coming. It's so nice to see you. So greetings, everyone. My name is Julie Caldwell, and I am the chapter advisor for the National Honor Society here at Tilton School. At this time, I'd like to share a little bit about the history of this esteemed organization. The National Honor Society was founded in 1921 and as an organization that was created to develop enthusiasm for scholarship, stimulate a desire for service to others, promote worthy leadership, and encourage the development of character. In the nation, in all of the nation's secondary schools, the National Honor Society strives to challenge students to reach their potential and to serve the greater community in these ways. Now, 100 years later, the ideals of the National Honor Society remain relevant as much as they were back a century ago. Given the challenges of our complex and changing world, these attributes are perhaps even more essential for the young citizens of our global society. As is the tradition, the current student members of the National Honor Society prepare brief reflections about each new inductee in order to highlight their academic efforts, to recognize their service and leadership contributions, and to make note of the various ways that they show character, both in public and private moments. We will first recognize the students from last year, who, when we were not able to be here on campus. We will play the induction video presenting the Spring 2020 National Honor Society members. And then we will move into presenting our new inductees for the spring of 2021. Just to set the example, I'd like to call up Kyle Rollins, one of our transfer students who received National Honors Society recognition at his old high school, to come up and receive his sash and his robe, and then come stand for a photo. For the rest of our students, you will follow suit. As soon as your name is called, you will come up, and Mr. Conrad and Mrs. McCandless will help you, and then you will come over and have your photo taken. At the end of the event, Mr. Thiel will then lead us all in the inductee National Honors Society pledge. So congratulations, students, and thank you, all of you, for your many contributions, and we challenge you to finish this year strong, and then to take what you have learned and the ways that you have stepped up as leaders and bring that into your next adventure at college and beyond.
It gives me great honor to introduce our next inductee to the National Honor Society. Olivia D'Amatos has been a very active member of the Tilton community since 2017. Olivia had been a member of the varsity field hockey, varsity tennis, varsity softball, and the girls' JV basketball teams. She had also been the JV basketball captain for the past 2 years. Olivia has enjoyed volunteering as well as working during her free time and through the summer. Please join me in congratulating Olivia D'Amatos for her acceptance into the National Honors Society.
It gives me a great pleasure to introduce our next inductee to the National Honor Society. Elizabeth Field has been an active member of our community for the past 2 years. She has served as a dorm proctor, president of an art club, a member for the varsity team, basketball, NEPSEC Class A champions, GSA, cross country team, and ECRAMs. Lisa also enjoys working during her free time as a busser at the Puritan back room. She's also a talented guitar player and loves helping out her community, as she wants to get students to participate and volunteer at the 9/11 stair climb. Please join me in congratulating Elizabeth Field for her acceptance into the National Honor Society.
It's my pleasure to introduce Alex Garside as a new member of the National Honor Society. Alex serves as a proctor and admission ambassador and the captain of the girls' JV basketball team. She works hard academically as well, earning herself McMorran Scholarship during her time at Tilton. Outside of school, Alex helps out at the Franklin Animal Shelter, Indigo Blues, and the Veterinarian Hospital. Please join me in congratulating Alex Garside for her acceptance into the National Honor Society.
It is my pleasure to introduce Sean Jing as a new member of the National Honor Society. Sean has been active both inside and outside school. Sean serves as the president of the investment club, ambassador, Tiltonia photographer, and work community partner. At Tilton School, he also received the award as a McMorran Scholar. Outside school, he participates in the International Capital Cooperation Training and is recognized as an honor member. Please join me to congratulate Sean for his acceptance into the National Honor Society.
I would like to introduce Amy Liu as a new member of the National Honor Society. Not only has Amy achieved outstanding academic standards as a McMorran Scholar since she arrived at Tilton School, she has also been an active member of our community. She serves as an admission ambassador and a member of the Community Service Program. She is also part of the music studio, art studio, and dance studio. She is engaged in the girls' JV basketball program and was awarded with the Most Improved Player in her sophomore year. Please join me in congratulating Amy Liu for her acceptance into the National Honor Society.
I am very excited to introduce this next inductee to the National Honor Society. Layton Martinez is a very active member of Tilton School and the community, taking over many community service projects including helping out at the New Hampshire Veterans Home, spending time with children at the Spalding Youth Center, and leading classes at the Sacred Heart Parish. Layton is also a member of the snowboarding team, the tennis team, and the club hockey team here at Tilton School, as well as a Macmorran Scholar. Please help me in congratulating Layton Martinez for his acceptance into the National Honor Society.
I'd like to introduce Vicky Magnaviciglio as a new member of your National Honor Society. Over the past few years, Vicky has been an active member of her community. She has worked as the secretary of the student council, group leader for the grade level programming, and spring fling planning committee. She's known as someone you can always count on to help out and has a smile and kind word for everyone. Vicky has been a member of the varsity hockey, soccer, softball, tennis, lacrosse, and field hockey teams. She is also a member of the Work Community Partners and Black Student Union. Vicky enjoys helping out her community by volunteering at the soup kitchen, at church, at the VNA Child Care Center, and internationally. She's also in the process for running for student body president to maintain and improve the trust, honor, tolerance, and integrity at Tilton School. Please join me in congratulating Vicky on her selection to the National Honor Society.
I am very proud to introduce this next inductee into the National Honor Society. Andrew Norman is an athlete by every definition of the word, being named captain of the soccer team and playing on 3 varsity sports teams during his time at Tilton. Andrew holds many different positions at Tilton School, including student co-chair member on the disciplinary committee, being a dorm proctor, and an admissions ambassador as well. Please join me in congratulating Andrew Norman for his acceptance into the National Honor Society.
Hi, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our next inductee to the National Honor Society. Max Paganini has been an active student body vice president and served as an ambassador, Forge TA, and team captain for the varsity soccer. Max also enjoys serving as a learn-to-skate instructor in the Lakes Region Youth Hockey and spent his last summer helping out with park cleanup at the Granite United Way. Max also worked hard in the classroom to be an avid learner and has a strong work ethic. Please join me in congratulating Max Paganini for his acceptance into the National Honor Society.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce our next inductee to the National Honor Society. Alex Ritter has been an active student government member and has served for an ambassador, peer counselor, and team captain for JV soccer and JV tennis. He also enjoys helping out at the local food pantry in his hometown. He has been working in the soup kitchen with Mrs. Coldwell since he was a freshman. Alex Ritter is also a talented skier and has participated in the recreational skiing with Mr. Goodwin since grade 9. He believes that being selected as a member of the National Honor Society will help him to hold himself in a higher standard and allow him to be surrounded with like-minded people. Please join me in congratulating Alex Ritter for his acceptance into the National Honor Society.
It is my pleasure to be inducting Mackenzie Saunders into the National Honor Society. Mackenzie has served as an ambassador, proctor, class president, and world communities partner over her 3 years at Tilton School. She has also competed in multiple varsity sports while becoming a key member of the arts. Outside of school, Mackenzie enjoys helping others at the soup kitchen and at the TSSI camp. Congratulations, Mackenzie.
It is my pleasure to welcome Simon Xi Yuan Wang as a new member of the National Honor Society. Simon is probably one of the funnest people at Tilton School. He's known as someone you can always count on to help out, and he always has a big smile on his face. Simon loves mountain biking, snowboarding, and tennis. He invests much of his time and energy into these sports. Besides these activities, Simon is a big fan of doing community service. He served multiple seasons with the community service team. In addition to maintaining excellent academic grades, Simon is also pursuing an independent study in Japanese and has become a very skilled creator of ceramics. This year, Simon became an editor for Tiltonian. Please join me in congratulating Simon on his selection to the National Honor Society.
I would like to introduce Leo Ying Yao as new member of the National Honor Society. Leo is probably one of the best class vice presidents and math club participants ever at Tilton School. He's known as someone you can always count on to help out, and he always has a smile and a kind word for everyone. What you might not know about Leo is that he spent 2 weeks last summer studying math at Brown University and also helped autism children as a volunteer in China. Leo is a talented piano player, and you can always find him practicing in Knowles Lobby or at the New Hampshire Veterans Home. Please join me in congratulating Leo Ying Yao on his selection to the National Honor Society.
Next, I'd like to welcome Matt Zhu as a new member of the National Honor Society. Matt has been quite the globetrotter, traveling to the Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, and China on community service trips that range from building structures to protecting ocean species or a first aider in an international marathon. Matt is also a member of the Math Club, competitive mountain biking team, and competitive snowboarding team. Please join me in congratulating Matt Zhu on his selection to the National Honor Society.
She is known for her kindness, positive attitude, and hard work. Sointu is a well-rounded student who played varsity girls soccer, JV basketball, club hockey, and varsity girls lacrosse. She is also a co-leader of the GSA, a member of WCP, and an admissions ambassador. Please join me in congratulating Sointu on her selection to the National Honor Society.
Next, I would like to introduce Cindy Baxter as a new member as the National Honor Society. A 3-year junior from Exeter, Rhode Island, she is the girls' varsity hockey goalie, captains the girls' varsity soccer team, and competes on the girls' varsity lacrosse team. During her time on the Hill, Cindy has emerged as a strong and reliable leader. She's the newly elected Class of 22 president, head admissions ambassador for next year, and has been involved in student government, being the class vice president her freshman year. She has found time to benefit the community as well, volunteering at local soup kitchens, church cleanups, being a mentor for the intellectually disabled, and spending quality time down at the local veterans home. She has shown excellent leadership skills during her time at the Hill, so please join me in congratulating Cindy Baxter on her selection into the National Honor Society. Next, I would like to welcome Kylie Curtin as a new member into the National Honor Society. Kylie is a 2-year junior from Loudon, New Hampshire, who captains the girls' varsity soccer team and has played a pivotal part in the school musicals. Along with these roles, Kylie has organized fundraising for soccer teams in England and Costa Rica and has also found time to volunteer at the local veterans home. McMorran Scholar, Admissions Ambassador, NEPSAC All-Star, and MVP are just the first ways to describe what kind of person she has grown to be. Please join me in congratulating Kylie Curtin on her selection into the National Honor Society.
It is my pleasure to introduce our next inductee to the National Honor Society. Sophie George has been an active leader in her community both on and off campus. She has served as a dorm proctor, lead TA, and ambassador here at Tilton. Sophie George has also been recognized as the most improved player on the girls' varsity basketball team and the most valuable player at the Class A championship game. She enjoys giving back to the community by participating in a national night out event hosted by the Laconia Police Department in her hometown in order to increase awareness about drug prevention and anti-crime efforts. Sophie George is a very talented young lady who takes pride in her academics, sports, and community service work. Please join me in congratulating Sophie on her acceptance into the National Honor Society.
So the next inductee is Robin Hammond. It gives me great pleasure to present Robin Hammond. Robin's 4 years at Tilton have been anything but lax. During her time on the Hill, she has served as the student body treasurer, lettered in 2 varsity sports, starred in multiple theater productions, and even directed a play of her own this winter. While juggling these commitments and much more, Robin also finds time to be an active community member and a great friend. Please join me in congratulating Robin Hammond for acceptance into the National Honor Society.
I am very excited to introduce this next inductee into the National Honor Society. Josh Hansen is a very active member of Tilton School, taking roles as a proctor, ambassador, and teacher's assistant while also participating in many activities, such as skiing, ceramics, and being team captain of the cross-country team. Outside of Tilton, Josh gives back to the community through his church, helping with elderly assistance and youth group programs, as well as working jobs at Gunstock Mountain, Steel Hill Resorts, and Lakewood Cottages. Please help me congratulating Josh for his acceptance into the National Honor Society.
I'm standing in front of you today to induct a very strong, independent leader and a good friend of mine into the National Honor Society. Emily Labraciano has always been one to advocate for herself and others in ways she finds important to her. In her sophomore year of high school, Emily was vice president of the Raising Abuse Awareness for Teens Club. She is a part of the Black Student Union Club at Tilton School and recently started the Women's Interest Club on campus. In addition to being involved at school, Emily organized and ran a food drive in Medellin, Colombia. She also worked as a teacher's assistant for a high school in Colombia during her junior year. For these reasons, and many, many others, I'm honored to welcome Emily Labraciano into National Honor Society.
It is my honor to introduce Wilson Hunton Lee to the National Honor Society. Wilson has participated in many activities proactively, either in the school or outside of the school. He was the founder and the leader of the Rocky Club, the manager of the varsity hockey team, and the state manager of the theater program. He also participated as an online volunteer in DC Children's Hospital. Last year, Wilson played on the varsity football team and the JV basketball team. Outside of the school, he took part in the internship program with the Columbia Engineering School and the ASDA and China AI program as a volunteer. He also was a member of the Wakefield Environmental Protection Group, protecting the endangered monarch butterfly. Please congratulating Wilson for his acceptance to National Honor Society.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce our next inductee to the National Honor Society. Tasha Lima has been an active founding member of Black Student Union, serving as vice president her first year and moving her way up to president her senior year. She has also put an enormous amount of work and effort into helping create the new Gold Rush coffee shop of Tilton School. When at home, Tasha spends time at Vacation Bible School, leading the Youth IFSI summer program, attending the Ellie Fund Walk, leading the Boston Fire Teen Academy, coaching and reffing youth basketball, and also works as a camp counselor in Rosendale. The very accomplished Tasha Lima is also an extremely talented varsity basketball player, a newly minted tennis player, a varsity track and field star, holding her previous school record for the 400-meter dash. Tasha is a driven and passionate student, but most importantly, an unbelievably amazing daughter, sister, and friend. Please join me in congratulating my roommate, Tasha Lima, for acceptance into the National Honor Society.
I am very excited to introduce this next inductee to the National Honor Society. Olivia McGuire is an active member of the Tilton School community and beyond. She is involved in the World Community Partners Club, which strives to build friendships between domestic and international students, and has been a part of multiple community service projects during her time at Tilton and in her home community of Braintree. Olivia was also a member of the girls varsity ice hockey, varsity cross country, and the girls varsity lacrosse teams at Tilton. Please help me in congratulating Olivia McGuire for her acceptance into the National Honor Society.
I'd now like to introduce Alyssa Moreland as a new member of the National Honor Society. Alyssa is a well-rounded student athlete who always makes time to give back to her community. She has participated in service trips, worked with her local food bank, and has served as a dormitory proctor here at Tilton School. Alyssa's goal in being an outstanding individual is to encourage others to follow along with her, always looking for ways to better the society in which she lives. Please join me in congratulating Alyssa Moreland on her selection into the National Honor Society.
It is my pleasure to introduce Nick Huyang Ni to the National Honor Society. Nick is an active participant in the Community Service Program. At Tilton, he continuously served at Veterans Home and helped at the local elementary school. He has also shown his responsibility as a global citizen outside school. He spent time at retirement home during his vacation and participated in the Fluid Project at the University of Pennsylvania last summer. Please join me in congratulating Nick Ni for his acceptance into the National Honor Society.
It brings me great joy and pride to present to you all the next inductee, Hunter Perkins, into the National Honor Society. Hunter is an active member around campus, providing a smile and a laugh for everyone who crosses his path. He finds himself striving as a leader around campus, whether that be in the theater, the admissions circle, or amongst his beloved group of Beaumont boys. We all know him for his amazing talent on stage, but he has shown me and many others time and time again that he is so much more and is truly deserving of this honor and appreciation. So please join me in congratulating a person that I love so dearly into the National Honor Society. I would like to introduce our next inductee, Diana Poland, into the National Honor Society. Diana utilizes her talent and other strengths around campus to better our future as a community. We see this kind of involvement in many different types of areas, stretching from being a leader on the ice or the field, to displaying her artistic talents through technical theater, and serving as a proctor in the dorm. She is a kind-hearted and trustworthy voice around campus we have all grown to love, so please join me in congratulating Diana Poland into the National Honor Society.
I'd like to welcome Elizabeth Siegel as a new member of the National Honor Society. Also known as Libby, Elizabeth is a hardworking, ambitious, and determined student athlete with previous leadership roles as captain of the Concord field hockey and softball teams, clinic instructor at Concord High School, and a camp counselor at the New Hampshire Lightning Softball Club. At Tilton School, she serves as a welcoming admissions ambassador, a member of the World Community Partners, honor roll and effort honor roll student, captain of the varsity softball and field hockey teams, and has done community service through Day of Caring and Seniors Helping Seniors with Tilton School. At Concord High School, Libby was a 9th and 10th grade senator in student government, a varsity club member, and a multi-sport athlete and captain. When at home, she is also a member of Temple Beth Jacob, Capital Area Student Leadership Program, Best Buddies, and the Rock and Race Organization. Libby Siegel can also be known as a caring and comical friend that you can always rely on, and not to mention a competitive Nintendo Switch Mario Kart opponent. Please join me in congratulating my sweet mate, Elizabeth Siegel, on her selection to the National Honor Society.
I would like to introduce Rain Shi as the next inductee into the National Honor Society. Rain has achieved outstanding academic standards as a McMorran Scholar and Honor Roll recipient during her time at Tilton. She is also one of the most active members of the Tilton School community, finding time to be a part of club hockey, skiing, field hockey, lacrosse, dance club, the Tilton newspaper, and the Tilton Art Studio. Rain is also dedicated to serving the community both locally and internationally. She has been a regular contributor to the community service team, participated in the Dominican Republic Service Learning Trip, and has also been a part of several service programs back home in Beijing. Also of note, Rain received the Most Improved Player Award in varsity lacrosse. Please help me in congratulating this outstanding leader in the Tilton School community for acceptance into the National Honor Society.
It is my pleasure to introduce Madison Silverman as a new member of the National Honor Society. Maddie is always active inside and outside of classes and is always eager to do something for the community. She has been a proctor for 3 years and has served as a TA with Miss Smith, helping freshmen transition to their first year at Tilton. She enjoys helping out at the New Hampshire Veterans Home and babysitting at the East Boston Food Bank. Maddie is also an excellent athlete. During her time at Tilton, she has played multiple sports from soccer and softball to ice hockey and field hockey. Please join me in congratulating Madison Silverman on her selection to the National Honor Society.
I'd like to welcome Alyssa Sainong to the National Honor Society. She is known for her positive outlook on life and has a solid work ethic. She has helped work on the yearbook the last 2 years and participated in the ski club here on campus. Off campus, Alyssa has been a chiropractic assistant at Awakening Chiropractic and has done much community service at the Veterans Home, Soup Kitchen, and local recreation center. Please join me in congratulating Alyssa on her selection to the National Honor Society.
I am very proud to introduce this next inductee into the National Honor Society. Sutton stands out both inside and outside the classroom. Sutton is a consistent honor roll student and has been named as a McMorran Scholar, while also being named captain of the JV boys basketball team and boys varsity lacrosse team. Sutton is a very active member of the community, participating in Tilton's community service program and working as a cook at the Mug restaurant. Please help me in congratulating Sutton for his acceptance into the National Honor Society.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce our next inductee, Jet Wang, into the National Honor Society. Between his time as an admissions ambassador, employee at his parents' restaurant, and baller on the court, Jet balances it all. In and outside the classroom, Jet has proven time and time again to be a great scholar and a reliable human being. It has been an honor watching Jet grow from a shy freshman to a respectful and outspoken young man. Please join me in congratulating Jet Wang into the National Honor Society.
Hi everyone, this is Amy Lu. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to a new member of the National Honor Society, Xinro Wang, who is also known as Was. Although Was came in the middle of her sophomore school year, she quickly adapted to the new environment and tried activities that were out of her comfort zone, such as participating in JV basketball. While she was adventuring, she kept looking for platforms that could give her the opportunities to do what she is good at. For example, dancing and performing on stage, which she eventually did at the Art Fest and Pep Rally. As a leader, one quality about Was that shines the brightest is her sense of responsibility. She gave up becoming an ambassador when she was recommended for the first time in order to further familiarize herself with the school. Therefore, she could serve as a more effective tour guide for visitors. With her determination and efforts, Was has continued to seek out chance to lead and has become an amazing representative of Tilton School. Please help me to welcome Was as a new inductee to the National Honor Society.
So, congratulations to all of the new inductees. Congratulations. It says here on the program that I am supposed to get up here and talk to you about the Cum Laude Society. It's another honor society that Tilton School is involved in. It's pretty old. It was started in 1906, and Tilton School is one of 5 independent schools to join this society at its beginning. Only 5. There are now over 300 chapters in the country. Most of those chapters involve independent schools and a few public schools. The deal behind this society is that it's actually reserved, nominees are reserved to the very top of the class when it comes to grade point average. And you know this about me, right? You know, many of you who've had a chance to talk to me about my feelings about grades know that that's not what's important. What's important is the learning. And there's another element to the Cum Laude Association in being inducted as a member, and that is to really pursue and follow a learning passion. One student will be inducted into the Cum Laude Society this year, and you've actually seen this person. Right now he's residing on another continent. And we will identify that person at graduation, so hang on to your seats.
Hello, everybody.
What a lovely ceremony. How nice it is for us all to be together. I think we owe Miss Caldwell another round of applause. Thank you. I have an official responsibility tonight, and you'll forgive me as the new guy if I don't quite get it right. As Mr. Landrosh would say, sometimes we learn through our mistakes. But I would ask all of the honorees, the inductees, to rise and join me in the honors pledge. I want to hear you loud and clear. You ready? Repeat after me. I pledge myself always to seek the light of truth. To hold scholarly habits. To engage in worthy service. And to lead forward in all things that shall advance the welfare of the school. The community. And the greater world in which I live. Thank you all, and congratulations.
Let us be thankful for the unique talents which each of us is born and for the relationships we have of grace and good guidance. Help us share these gifts which we enjoy, gifts of creativity, love, self-expression, leadership, and service. Help us support and respect all those who work to educate us and who make our life challenging, safe, and of deep sentimental value. Grant us the strength to share our talents in ways that honor and enlighten all whom we encounter and all whom we knowingly or unknowingly influence. May we foster a noble life to serve others and to leave behind lasting achievements and an inspiring legacy.